Chile, the Atacama Desert. One of the most remote corners of our planet. Dry, lifeless, unforgiving. It's crunch time for our title contenders under desert skies. RXR lead the charge. Those chasing must respond. They must outperform, outrace, outscore. History will play its part. Pressure will be heavy, but they all have the same challenge. They must all beat the track to beat each other. The title fight is now.
Hyperdrive now.
The title is on the line in Chile, and our season so far has been full of drama. Season 2 began in the otherworldly landscape of Saudi Arabia. In the final, a huge collision between Neon McLaren and RXR brought out the red flag. Despite having damage when the race started, RXR hunted down their rivals and took the first win of the season. The next stop on our electric Odyssey saw an adrenaline-fueled doubleheader on the stunning island of Sardinia. RXR ended X44's unbeaten qualifying record as they continue their dominant streak en route to the 5-car final. Off the start, it was RXR and Acciona Sainz who got the advantage. Christopherson went right, Sainz went left. And when the racing lines came together, chaos ensued.
Contact, massive shunt! Massive shunt! I think that's Christopherson into Sainz!
Rosberg X Racing crossed the finish line first, but their collision saw them receive a post-race penalty, handing Chip Ganassi Racing their maiden Extreme E victory. Round 3 in Sardinia saw RXR battling back with an impeccable racing performance, and in the final, it was a daring dive into the water by Michaela Arling-Kotelinski that saw RXR take the lead and a well-deserved victory. With a 32-point advantage in the championship standings and with a maximum of 30 points up for grabs at an X Prix, can the chasing back close the gap? Or will RXR leave Chile as back-to-back Extreme E champions?
In Extreme E, anything can happen. So we need to stay on our toes, we need to stay focused, keep doing what we've been doing so far, just trying to do the very best that we can and prepare as well as we can. For me, it would mean just so much to win the championship. I get butterflies now just talking about it. It would be simply amazing.
The closest rivals behind us in the championship is X44, Chip Ganassi Racing and Acciona Sainz. Of course we feel the pressure. I mean, leading the championship, we will try to do our absolute best and focus on ourselves. But at the same time, there's high pressure on the teams behind us because they are the ones that have to catch us.
Ahead of the first race action in the Atacama Desert, the drivers took a tour around the course to chat tactics with their teammates and engineers. Meanwhile, championship driver Fraser McConnell talked us through his thoughts on where the race could be won or lost.
Alright, good morning, buenos dias, wagwan. I am Fraser McConnell, your championship driver, and we are at the Antofagasta Minerals Copper X Prix, and this is your Continental Track Guide. So we're at the start line right now, super wide, very long uphill. This is going to be a great place for people to use their NO hyperdrive and get a head start before corner 1. We're heading off a long straight from 1. There's going to be a lot of speed coming into this right-hander, and as you can see, there's a super bank left turn. So much speed, the car is going to be flat out the whole way. There are 2 lines you can take, high, low, and you can see just how steep this is. It's a super bank, Talladega turn, velodrome, whatever you want to call it, but it's a proper sense. We're at 8 right now, one of the bigger drops on the course. As you can see, there is a sign for warning, and drivers are going to have to be careful. If you do carry too much speed, you're going to get a little nosy on the front. On the left side, it's much more steep. The more you go to the right, the less steep it gets, and therefore you'll be able to carry much more speed. The Continental Traction Challenge entrance is right here at 9, coming off a super fast straight. Look how wide the exit is, you can carry so much speed. Heading to 10, 11, 12, there are these super fast crests. They do get more drastic as you go along. So you're going to be able to carry speed, but not too much, because they will bite you. We're at 12 right now, one of the many blind crests that Chile has to offer. When you're coming in the Odyssey, going about 100, 110, and you're literally seeing nothing but the sky. So you're going to have to pick your point, make sure you're headed in the right direction. We're coming up a super steep hill, which is no problem for the Odyssey. We're still getting mega air time, having to set the car up very late, heading into that left-right chicane. Awesome rhythm section, it's going to be fun. Big jump here at 17. It is the end of the Continental Traction Challenge. There's a lot of speed carrying from the top of the hill, so you're going to want to check up or else you're going to go for a wild ride. The Copper X Prix this weekend is a unique one. The drivers are getting a chance to do 2 laps, and both times are going over the big jump. New feature to Extreme E, the Odyssey is going to be hitting this at 130, landing about 10-15 meters that way. It's going to be a wicked way to end the race, so let's see who crosses the finish line in first, with the biggest Sen taking the victory in style.
That's the track for the Copper X Prix. Now here's a reminder of how the event works. Extreme E is a fully electric off-road championship racing on the most challenging terrains across the globe. 10 world-class teams, each fielding 1 male and 1 female driver in gender-equal lineups. In each session, both drivers will compete behind the wheel of the Odyssey 21 electric SUV, with a driver changeover, the switch, halfway through. Each driver gets an Anoa hyperdrive boost in every session, giving them an increase in power to provide thrilling overtakes. There are also bonus points available for the fastest team through the Continental Traction Challenge section of the course over the weekend. Day 1 is qualifying with a round of time trials followed by a round of head-to-head races. This decides how the teams line up for Day 2's racing. Day 2 sees high-speed knockout racing with the goal of reaching the final. First up, it's the 2 semi-finals, where the top 2 teams progress from each. Then it's the last chance to progress in the winner-takes-all crazy race. The 5-car main event sees the teams battle it out to be crowned X-Prix winner and bag 25 championship points. The team with the most points after 5 races will be crowned Extreme E champions. With the teams ready to go, it was clear from the first runs in Shakedown that the rollercoaster course would be a huge challenge for the drivers. Following this incident, Jutta Kleinschmidt was taken to hospital for further checks and replaced by Clara Anderson for the weekend's racing. As qualifying 1 started the following day, Clara was already up to speed and setting impressive times for Abt Cupra.
Mega job, well done.
Meanwhile, after leading both free practice sessions, the Acciona Sainz team were on a quick run with Laia Sanz. However, the Spanish team incurred a penalty when Carlos Sainz tried to leave the switch zone with a team member still in the area, relegating them down the timesheets. Round 2 winners number 99 GMC Hummer EV Chip Ganassi Racing were flying around the undulating course, finishing 3rd fastest. While the ever-reliable qualifiers X44 Vida Carbon Racing were on the attack with some huge jumps, eventually finishing 2nd. However, it was Rosberg X Racing that set the pace, with Michaela Arling-Kotulinski and Johan Kristoffersen continuing their red-hot form behind the wheel to top the standings. An impressive result for RXR in their title pursuit, but with results setting the grids for the afternoon's 5-car qualifying races, everything was still to play for in qualifying 2 at the Copper X Prix. Thrilling action out on course is only one of the reasons for Extreme E's visit to Chile. The championship's first voyage to South America is also highlighting how this mineral-rich area is at the forefront of the fight against climate change.
So we are now in the Atacama desert at about 2,000 meters above sea level. This is the driest place on Earth with the least amount of life in the whole planet, but yet it is the hotspot of mineral resources and metals in the world. Minerals like copper are essential fabrics of the Green Revolution, and we forecast that by 2050 the demands to electrify the world will imply that the demand for copper will increase 250%. So one main driver of the increase in demands for copper with the electrification of the world is electrical vehicles. Sales of EV vehicles globally reached 6.75 million vehicles in 2021. This is more than double the amount of sales in 2020. So in order to sustainably meet our goals in terms of energy sources, we need not only to be able to source the materials and recycle them, but we need to mine copper sustainably.
Prior to the weekend's racing, Rosberg X-Racing drivers Michaela Arling-Kotulinski and Johan Kristoffersson took time out to visit Centinela Mine and learn about the innovations in practice at the Antofagasta mineral site as part of a push to increase sustainability in the industry.
So when we're producing EV cars, the copper is used, which means that we have to find a way, and they are working very hard on that, to find a way to produce copper in the most sustainable way we can.
At the moment they are driving on fuel, but they are looking into ways of driving hydrogen fuel. It's all about, developing new technology, and that's the way we see it in Extreme E too. And what we also learned today is that they are using seawater instead of fresh water. That is something that is really new when it comes to mining. So that was really interesting to learn that today.
En Minera Centinela tenemos muchas actividades, muchas acciones y tecnologías e innovaciones que nos permiten ser sostenibles. Y hay muchas formas de hacer transferencia de esas tecnologías. El paso que hay que dar es convencer de que hay que ir algunos pasos adelante en sostenibilidad, incorporando los procesos agua de mar, incorporando tecnologías para aprovechar el sol, como las plantas termosolares, y un sinnúmero de otras innovaciones que podrían ser incorporadas en cualquier proyecto minero nuevo.
This is the first time in human history that human-made objects exceed the mass of living organisms. So the challenges is not just to meet the increasing demand, the challenge is to what to do with these materials at the end of life. And currently we're only able to recycle 53% of the copper embedded in consumer goods and electronics. So the recycling mandate that we need to meet requires engagements at all levels, from individuals to industries to governments. And we need to find a way in which the technosphere is not a problem but becomes part of the solution, because we can embed materials like carbon dioxide into the technosphere and drive it away from the atmosphere, but we can also ensure that copper and other metals are actually circulating through the technosphere in a circular economy.
At each of its race locations, Extreme E invites local communities to visit the paddock in order to inspire the next generation of drivers and engineers.
This morning we had over 200 kids coming, and also the local communities coming to site. We're a non-spectator sport, so we want to bring it closer to the community and also give them a bit of an idea what Extreme E is. Meet the drivers, Hola. Speak to them how they got into their sport and what the ways could be in for like young kids especially, showing them a way to get into this world. Everything surrounds around our 4 key pillars, which is equality, it's entertainment, it's the environment and electrification. Equality for us is really important. In every race location we go, we are working very closely with local NGOs, with the scientists. So we do a lot of different activities that really play into the bigger picture to really leaving a positive impact behind. It's amazing to have all of these children here. For me, it's really rewarding to see when they get to meet these heroes and these drivers and get close to them showing them the car, getting inside the cars. And also when they get really excited about seeing how this all works and the level of drivers we got here, and seeing the cars out on track as well in action. It's amazing. I mean, it's been an incredible project, really pleased to be part of it.
Dos y tres, vamos!
The chance to meet the legendary drivers of the Extreme E paddock is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for aspiring racers in the local community. Perhaps the most decorated of them all is 9 times World Rally Champion and rally icon Sebastian Loeb.
I'm Sebastian Loeb and I'm driving in Extreme E for X44. When I was young, I was doing gymnastics. Until 14 years old, I had quite a good national level. It was my first passion, but then when I was 14, I had my first moped, and then the engine, the speed, and that was attracting me. And when I was 18, I had my driving license, and so I could drive my own car. Immediately, it was, I don't know why, but it was my passion to take the perfect corner, to be able to slide in the corner, to reaccelerate very early, and just to find the best way to take this corner. I was practicing alone, just for my own pleasure. In the field, some tarmac or gravel roads, just taking 2 corners, turning around, coming back. And my passion went to rally. I started to win, and I made the biggest of my career in WRC. For sure, I'm proud to be 9-time world champion in WRC. I'm the only one at the moment who achieved it. But it's something I never counted. I don't count the number of victories and the number of titles. I'm just happy to be able to live from my passion. And for me, it's 2 highlights that I remain. My first title in Corsica, because that was the first title. And the other best moment of my career, I think, is I won the rally in France, which was in the Alsace. The finish line was in my hometown, where I'm born and where I have all my friends and family. I won the title in the same time, and we won also the manufacturer title in the same time. So I won everything at home in front of my friends and family. So that was just an amazing feeling. When I was 39 years old, I was thinking maybe it's time to stop rallying and do something else. So I decided to go racing in GT. Then we convinced Citroën to come in a touring car championship. Then I went to Dakar with Peugeot and rallycross also. And I think I was lucky because of my career. I enjoyed it. I decided to get involved in Extreme E because it was something completely new, with a lot of attractive points, like the location where we are driving. Going to Greenland, that was the first time of my life. Some incredible places. Also the principle of the race is quite original. To share the car with a girl was something new for me, and I think it's a nice experience to work together. And also the fact that we are driving with a new kind of cars, full electric cars, with the goal of to let a positive impact on the place where we came. Yeah, I think the idea is really cool, and I think it's nice for the future. I still enjoy driving, and I still enjoy the challenge, and even if I don't win, I don't win, but at the moment I still feel competitive in the different disciplines that I'm doing, and the day where I will not enjoy it as much, or where I will feel that I'm getting too slow or too old or anything, maybe this time I will stop. Not every people have the chance to live from their passion, so I feel really lucky about it.
Saturday afternoon heralded the first head-to-head action of the weekend, with the start of qualifying 2 and a pair of 5-car races. The first saw RXR line up alongside Genesis Andretti United, Excite Energy Racing, number 99 GMC Hummer EV, and Veloce Racing.
And they are off, so you can see they're pretty bogged down at the start of it, level pegging. It looks like Andretti United who got a good start, they creep away for them. Then Veloce seem to be coming up as well. How are 5 going to go into this turn? RXR have bailed on this, they're going back behind them, and it's Excite Energy who take the lead. They're round the first turn, they've got to bank it again. Veloce try and go up the inside, then he's to the left, and you can see it's a real mess out in front, but it's Excite Energy followed by Veloce.
Up on the top now, coming down around the outside. At least 3 cars have gone to the wrong flag. So 3 cars have gone completely the wrong way. It's at that waypoint off the top of the crest, including RXR. They will all get a penalty for that.
You're clear, you're leading. Leduc behind, Leduc on your bumper.
Timmy Hansen now led from Carl Leduc, those behind receiving a 5-second penalty for missing the waypoint. After contact offline with Timo Scheider in the Excite Energy car, Lance Woolridge was forced to retire in the Veloce racing machine. Carl Leduc was also carrying damage in the number 99 GMC Hummer EV.
Timmy Hansen leading Kyle Leduc, all 3 cars behind, hoping for a better position, but even so, Jenny, they're all going to get a penalty for missing that waypoint. So for me, this is a race between these front 2. Now he dives up the inside line, going to try and go late on the brakes into the left-hander. He wasn't close enough. That's going to compromise his line over the crest a little bit. He runs wide up the inside. Excite Energy Racing going to take the position. RXR might get there too. He carries enough speed off the crest side by side now. Is anybody going to use hyperdrive here and try and get the advantage? Absolutely door to door here between Scheider and Carl Leduc. Leduc's going to be on the outside as they come up to the left-hander. Sideways, coming down the crest, but they've all gone in there. Did they come in too quick into the speed limit zone?
After slowing to avoid the stricken Veloce racing car parked out on course, Kristoffersson and Scheider were door to door heading into the switch. Katie Munnings took over for Genesis Andretti United in the lead, while number 99 GMC Hummer EV had a puncture on the rear right, taking them out of contention for victory.
That's the lead that Katie Munnings has. You can see it visually on screen. It's 4.452 seconds. Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski trying to close down.
Excite Energy also hit trouble with broken steering, much to Tamara Molinaro's frustration.
Munnings coming down, going to fly the finish line now. Andretti United take the win. What a turnaround in fortune for them.
Woo, 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 good team. That's more like it.
I did get out last, and that was not very nice. And then I tried to set up an overtake around 7 and 8, and somehow overtook everyone in one corner. You know, you're happy when you do that in a video game, but even happier in real life.
Such a nerd.
Yeah. It looked like the front guys kind of made a mistake, and I was right at the inside, you know, right place at the right time, I guess. After that, you made it look easy.
Well, he did make it easy for me. I mean, yeah, I know there was carnage going on behind me, so obviously we just wanted to make sure we brought it to the finish.
Yeah, it was a crazy race. I mean, crazy race already in Q2 this weekend. I didn't have the best of starts, and then struggled with the visibility basically. So just tried to stay as close as possible, and then Kyle had a small mistake, managed to overtake him, and then I got Timo going into the switch zone to deliver the car to Michaela, which finished off in P2. So we are very happy with that.
On to race 2, with the male drivers all taking the start once again, with the exception of Heda Hossas for JBXE, as they employed a reverse strategy.
Green light, great start in the middle of the grid. X44 getting away much better. Tanner Faust on his left though for McLaren, also doing a tidy job. In the background, At Cooper have gone backwards. Alatir has lost ground. Carlos Sainz up alongside. Sebastian Loeb's going to get mugged in turn 1 here, going to run a little bit deep. So Loeb goes on the outside of the jump, Carlos Sainz on the inside, Alatia smack in the middle, down now, look at Loeb, lined him up, so Sebastian Loeb's teed up, Carlos Sainz for a pass down the front straight, there's just a quick left-hander, the nose of the X44 is right up the inside of Acciona Sainz, contact between them as they come up to the last gate before the start finish, down to the gate, Loeb's taken the gate down, takes the lead, but he'll get a penalty for that, as 3 cars fly over the crest within half a second of each other.
X44 Vida Carbon Racing received a 10-second penalty for Loeb's overtake on Carlos Sainz, with the Frenchman having knocked over a flag in the process. This put Acciona Sainz in the driving seat for victory, but didn't stop Laius Sanz trying to win it out on course.
We see Laius Sanz heading up the inside of Gutierrez. Over the crest now they are side by side. Gutierrez flies it hard, but Laius Sanz is going to be there as she tries to shut the door. The Sainz team nearly took a flag down. Now she can make the cutback as Gutierrez runs a little bit wide. Laius Sanz trying to pop, but she's still got a hyperdrive left. Boosts it away over the crest and gets a get out of jail free car big time there. It's Laius Sanz and Carlos Sainz who take the win thanks to that 10-second penalty for Gutierrez and Loeb in the X44 car.
Brilliant result for you guys, looking ahead of course to tomorrow, semi-finals now. Becken, what was it like racing 5 cars on this course?
You know, I'm not so much used to rallycross. This is really tight, but I must say it's good fun, but not easy.
That result meant the Rosberg X Racing were the winners of qualifying, closely followed by title rivals X44. Fellow championship contenders number 99 GMC Hummer EV and Acciona Sainz completed the top four, with a sterling effort from Atacama, meaning they reached the semi-finals despite limited track time for Clara Anderson.